It's so pretty. Oh. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. Today, got a physical book for you. I did it in 3 shifts at the theatre on 1,000 Splendid Suns, I think that's the name of the show, which was originally a book which I have not read, but my mum is reading that book at the moment, interestingly enough. Yeah, I managed to pretty much avoid the majority of the spoilers on social media. I'm not quite sure how I managed to do it, but yeah, it's Sunrise on the Reaping. When I took the dust jacket off and saw this, I went straight down to my dad and just like, look at it, it's so pretty. So yeah, got the dust jacket here. Here we go. I have not read the originals in a very long time because I'm not really much of a rereader, but reading this makes me want to read the first one again, if I can find it, because I have books everywhere in preparation for moving, so... I know I've been in the process of moving for a very long time, but it's because the flat is being redone. Like, the kitchen is almost finished, and then they'll start putting the bathroom in, and then it will be painting, carpets, fireplace, and furniture shopping, because at the moment there's no point in getting any furniture because there's just stuff everywhere. Anyway, so on the back it says, when you've been set up to lose everything you love, what is there left to fight for? So that's the tagline, and let's get in with the blurb. As the day dawns on the 50th Annual Hunger Games, fear grips the districts of Panem. This year, in honour of the Quarter Quell, twice as many tributes will be taken from their homes. Back in District 12, Haymitch Abernathy is trying not to think too hard about his chances. All he cares about is making it through the day and being with the girl he loves. When Haymitch's name is called, he can feel all his dreams break. He's torn from his family, his love, and he's shuttled to the capital with 3 other District 12 tributes. A young friend who's nearly a sister to him, a compulsive oddsmaker, and the most stuck-up girl in town. As the games begin, Haymitch understands he's been set up to fail, but there's something in him that wants to fight, and have that fight reverberate far beyond the deadly arena. Yeah, I did see stuff about, obviously, the movie and casting and things like that, so I actually am quite impressed with the casting of young Haymitch, because he looks like he could grow up to be Woody Harrelson, which I find brilliant. Some people are saying, oh, why is it something that we don't know and stuff, and it was just like, but surely a newcomer would be great for this film. It's going to be so good, that film. I cannot wait. This was so good. As I said, I did it in 3 sittings at the theatre, and I couldn't put it down. I am quite a fast reader, just keep that in mind. I can do 100 pages in less than an hour. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't be able to, like, actually understand what you're reading if you're reading that fast. Just like me, I'm a really fast processor. Like, even on YouTube, I watch things at like double speed, because if I put it at normal speed, it is too slow. It is too slow. I just process things really, really quickly. And because I'm a visual reader, everything that I read becomes a picture and a video in my mind. And because, obviously, we had the movies, I had kind of like a young Woody Harrelson in my head as I was reading this, because obviously I grew up watching Cheers. So I had that version of Woody Harrelson in my head when I was reading this book. I know that's not, obviously he was younger in Cheers, but obviously not as young as in this, because he's like 17 in this. I want to say he's 17 in here. I don't know if that's right. The blurb really does blow over everything that happens when Haymitch's name is called, because there's so much more to that. Because originally, because it's his birthday on the day of the reaping, and his name isn't originally called. Something goes wrong at the reaping in District 12, and Haymitch is used as an example, basically. You hear him talking about his love, Lenorda, or is it Lenore? One of those things which, like, it's got an E on the end, but I don't know if it's supposed to be Lenore or Lenore. This is going to be like a Hermione situation, isn't it? Because when I first read the Harry Potter books, I had no idea how to pronounce Hermione. It wasn't a name I'd ever seen before, so I think I spent most of my time calling her Hermione. There was even a joke when I was in high school about calling her Hermy 1. Yeah, I have not heard it out loud, so apologies if I'm messing up the pronunciation of the girlfriend's name. I was speaking to somebody at the theatre last night about reading this, and he was just like, oh, do you remember how Haymitch wins according to the Hunger Games books? And it was just like, sort of. I have not read those books in a while. I watched all the movies about a year ago, and they're alright. I wouldn't say they were my favourite movies in the world, but they were good films, and yeah, I thought the casting was done well for those ones. I really did enjoy The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. both the book and the film. Admittedly, I want to watch Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes again because I watched it on a plane, so it was very much a because they edit films for when they're on planes, and then there was also the occasional interruption, so I need to be able to watch it all the way through properly, so I need to figure out where it's on so I can watch it. But yeah, this is a movie is going to be pretty epic. But yeah, when I was having that conversation last night about how we've previously been told that Haymitch won, I was a bit murky on it because I couldn't remember. So if anything, it made the end of this a bit more surprised, because I was told that the way that it's referred to in the Hunger Games books, the original ones, isn't exactly how he wins it, and that there's a lot more to it. As I mean, I was more than halfway through the book when he finally entered the arena. There's so much build up to that moment, and then him actually being in the arena feels very quick, even though it wasn't, because as I said, I was more than halfway through when he went into the arena, and maybe it lasts less than a quarter of the book, him actually being in the arena. That's what it felt like anyway, but at the same time, because so much happens in that section, I was reading it quite quickly, so it did feel quicker because so much was happening, and you're looking at what he was doing and the plan, because earlier in the book, once it's established he is going in, even though his name wasn't originally pulled and when he's made an example of after the events at his reaping, there's a group of them that decide they want to take down the arena and everything from the inside, kind of like the idea of breaking the machine in the middle of it all. It's just brilliant. I mean, it's kind of similar to what Katniss does, but that's because Katniss and, is it Peter that goes in the first time? My brain is a mush of information at the moment, but when Katniss goes in, they refer to Haymitch's games in order to figure out how to handle the arena and how to beat the arena. Because, I mean, this ends with kind of almost a full circle moment, bringing you back to Katniss's story. So it's like, I want to, now that I've read this book, I want to reread that last chapter, the epilogue, and then go straight in with book one again, because I just feel like it's going to be an interesting reading experience having read this now and seeing how it all like mars up. Yeah, it was just so good. Yeah. In my case, because yes, I said I enjoyed the movies, I thought they were good, but they're not my favourites. I still think the books were better than the films, but I still love Jennifer Lawrence's Katniss. But I just love the fact there are so many references to the original Hunger Games trilogy, but then there's also references to A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in regards to President Snow and Lucy Greybeard, and so there's so many like little Easter eggs in there for the other books, which keeps you going as well. Because I remember when some of the casting came out and they were saying, oh, we've got these two actresses that have been cast in these roles, and everyone was going, oh, this is perfect, they look really similar. It's like, why is it so important that these two people look like each other? And then I read the book, I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. Because I'm just going to say that somebody gets replaced, is that the best way to say it, by the Capitol for the games, and so the idea of two characters kind of looking slightly similar is very important. So yeah, when I finally clocked onto that casting, it was just like, oh, that's why they need to look kind of similar. But I loved it. It was so good. And as I said, I want to reread one now. Just read the final chapter of this again and then go straight in with book one. It would involve me finding book one because I have no idea where it is at the moment. I don't know where anything is. But I loved it. I love seeing the inside of Haymitch's head when all this was going on. And Haymitch's story is so heartbreaking. I mean, it didn't make me cry, but I nearly did. Because he's made an example of, and then it's like, as you go through, you see him being stripped away of everything. And when he gets through and he comes back, it's just heartbreaking. You just want to give Haymitch a big hug. Obviously, I'm being careful with the spoilers, because I imagine the majority of people who are interested in this book probably will have had all the spoilers for this book by now. Because it's been out there for so long. I say so long, it hasn't been out for that long. Really, but I am so glad that I finally got through it. last night when I got in from work, having finished this, I then did a little chapter of my Victoria Wood biography, and then I looked through all the pictures because it's like my mashed potato book, or as I would call it, my roast potato book. The best part of a roast dinner is the roast potatoes, not the mashed potato. Sorry, Ariel and Raylene. But it's because I just love Victoria Wood so much. I was heartbroken when she passed away, and through this I get to hear her words through interviews that she did, which became her biography. Yeah, I feel like I've talked about all sorts in this video at this point. But yeah, I got to have a bit of a sleep in this morning because I've had a couple of very early starts, and then I woke up to a cat sleeping on my chest, like literally like bum in face situation, as he just spread down here, and I was like that for a couple of hours. And it's just like, am I destined just to stay in bed today? But this afternoon my niece is getting an award at school in assembly, and she has no idea about it. Don't worry, this has been, you're seeing this like a couple of months later. She doesn't know about it, but we've been invited to go watch her accept this award in assembly. So yeah, we get to turn up to the school at like 3 o'clock, and then they're going to usher us into the hall, the back of the hall, so we can watch her. Yeah, so Sunrise on the Reaping. I almost said The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That was the last one. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Haymitch's story in the Hunger Games world. Yeah, it's just so good. So now I can pop this back on, keep all this together, because when I'm got a book on the go, the idea of keeping the dust jacket on is terrifying, because I think once I did leave a dust jacket on in my bag and it got ripped, and I was very sad about that. But yeah, just like, this is just a reference to his token that nobody realises what it actually is. There's so much hidden in this image. I'll just say that. Yeah, so when you've been set up to lose everything you love, what is there left to fight for? Sunrise on the Reaping, Suzanne Collins. If you haven't read it and you do like the Hunger Games books, I recommend it. I really enjoyed it. But then again, I was one of the strange ones apparently who really enjoyed The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I've heard people say that they didn't like it because there was no way they were going to care for President Snow. And it was just like, but the point is that he's horrible and unlikable. And I like reading books that are done from the point of view of somebody who is unlikable. I find it quite fascinating, but some people feel like they're being forced to identify with them. And it was just like, no. I didn't identify with Snow in any way. I didn't think it was any redemption story. I read it as a villain origin story, which is what it was. No sympathy for him, based on everything that happened. So if you go in to Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes knowing it's a villain origin story and to treat it as such, I think you will enjoy it better than thinking you have to sympathise with Snow in that book, because you don't have to sympathise with Snow, and it doesn't make it a bad book just because you felt like you had to sympathise with him. You're just misinterpreting it. Sorry, was that a bit too honest? Misinterpretation of something does not make it a bad book. Yeah, and the movie was just brilliant. I really enjoyed the movie. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you next time with another video. I'll see you next time with another video, and I love you all. Goodbye.